the cost is big, and this is going to cost you big now. There is now a supervisory fee that you will be required to pay. And if you don't pay it, every $100 you owe, you will sit 1 day in jail. There is a actually, it's reduced to a first, right? Is it true or untrue that it's a 0.15 or above?
That's true.
Okay, I'm going to find that that's true. Now, there is a $4,500 surcharge that you will be required to pay. Somehow, we have to get your attention that this is unacceptable. And if it doesn't get paid, 1 day in jail for every $100 that you owe. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Can I pay overtime? I'm currently not.
Of course.
Okay.
Absolutely. We will give
Only
you,
laid off.
I'll give you 2 years to pay. If you need more time than that, I'm absolutely willing to do whatever you need to do. But somehow we have to get your attention. And I'm going to tell you now also, if I find that you consume alcohol while you're on this probation, it's very possible you may be required to do inpatient treatment. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I call a motion requesting the orders to be, the supervisory fees, mandatory fees be waived. I believe if you question Ms. Rodriguez, you'll find that she may be qualified to be indigent, Your Honor.
I normally do, Joaquin, on first all day, but on a second, we need to get their attention. You're bypassing a mandatory week in jail that you should normally be doing because they're reducing this to a first. So it's essentially a slap on the wrist, no jail time. We have to somehow get your attention. And usually the way that works is you got to hit them where it hurts, where it's either jail time or it's in the pocketbook. Somehow we have to get your attention. It's unacceptable. What I'm trying to do is prevent you from picking up yet another DWI because you're what? 42 years old, 35 years old? You're going to be driving for the next 30 years. The law never forgets. Good morning, Ms. Okori. Ma'am, you're charged with assault causing bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am. Okay.
On March 5th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to a residence regarding a disturbance. The officer made contact with the complainant who stated the defendant had assaulted him. The complainant stated they were involved in a verbal disturbance when she approached him, used a ring-style taser to tase him, and the complainant was able to knock the taser out of the defendant's hand and backed away. The complainant stated the defendant gathered the taser and approached him again at his front door, attempting to use the taser on him again. The complainant held the defendant's wrist to prevent her from touching him with the taser, and the complainant advised that he had to push the defendant to get her away from him so he could get inside the residence. The officer viewed the complainant's video footage of the offense, and the complainant stated he felt pain from the incident, was in fear for his life because he believed that she had a knife. The defendant stated the complainant struck her first, which was shown to be false with the video footage, and the defendant admitted to having a taser and using it on the complainant.
Okay. Ms. Okori, I'm going to find.
The taser never touched.
Stop. Now's not the time to fight your case. This is just a probable cause. Anything you say, they can use it against you. Now's not the time. I can give you a lawyer if you'd like. You can talk to the lawyer and go that route, but just now's not the time. You know, you start saying stuff, they're just going to use it to prove your guilt. As it stands, I'm ordering you, ma'am, as a condition of your bond, not to have any contact with this person. I'm also ordering you not to be in possession of weapons. If you violate these conditions, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Was this a dating relationship or was this just a friend?
No indication of dating relationship.
Okay. So ma'am, would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. Deputy Echegon is going to give you an application I need you to fill out for me. I need to know everything about you. I will take a look at it. We're going to craft bond conditions for you. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions, okay?
Okay.
Please. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll get it changed and then follow the way.
Yes. I'm ready. Are you ready? Or you are Catherine Rodriguez?
Yes, sir.
Thanks. You were charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. you have worked out an agreement where they're going to reduce this to a first offender DWI education class. You need to understand that this still makes two DWIs that are on your record. What happens on the next one? No. Prison. A minimum of 2 years, a maximum of 10 years in prison is what you will be facing if you ever pick up another DWI. And you don't have to be stumbling, passed out drunk for an officer to charge you with a felony offense. All you need is to get into a car, the faintest smell of alcohol, anything funky in the car, they're going to run your record, they're going to see this, and then you're going to be facing a crap load of time. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If I were you, even if you've had a sip, I wouldn't get into a car.
I understand.
You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement today. What you were doing is you were pleading guilty to this DWI. It is a 12-month Harris County jail sentence to be probated for 15 months. You will do a repeat offender DWI education class. Two victim impact panels. You will do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need. If they assess other conditions, you must fulfill them. No breath test refusal, meaning that if you were pulled over in a car, an officer asks you to submit a breath test, you must do it while you're on this probation. If you don't, you're in violation. And if you violate this probation, I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
Yes, sir.
You're looking at an entire year in jail. Do you understand? No alcohol, guardian interlock, 25 hours of community service. Was there an accident in this thing? You know, you are allowed to make mistakes in life, but when you make mistakes and you endanger other people's lives on a repeated basis, the cost is big. And this is going to cost you big now. There is now a supervisory fee that you will be required to pay. And if you don't pay it, every $100 you owe, you will sit 1 day in jail. There is a actually, it's reduced to first, right? Is it true or untrue that it's a 0.15 or above?
It's true.
Okay, I'm going to find that that's true. Now, there is a $4,500 surcharge that you will be required to pay. Somehow, we have to get your attention that this is unacceptable. And if it doesn't get paid, 1 day in jail for every $100 that you owe. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Can I pay it over time? I'm currently not.
Of course.
Okay.
Absolutely. We will give
Only
you,
laid off.
I'll give you 2 years to pay. If you need more time than that, I'm absolutely willing to do whatever you need to do. But somehow we have to get your attention. And I'm going to tell you now also, if I find that you consume alcohol while you're on this probation, it's very possible you may be required to do inpatient treatment. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I filed a motion requesting the orders to be, the supervisory fees, mandatory fees be waived. I believe if you question Ms. Rodriguez, you'll find that she may be qualified to be indigent, Your Honor.
I normally do Joaquin on first all day, but on a second, we need to get their attention. You're bypassing a mandatory week in jail that you should normally be doing because they're reducing this to a first. So it's essentially a slap on the wrist, no jail time. We have to somehow get your attention. And usually the way that works is you got to hit them where it hurts, where it's either jail time or it's in the pocketbook. Somehow we have to get your attention. It's unacceptable. What I'm trying to do is prevent you from picking up yet another DWI because you're what? 42 years old, 35 years old? You're going to be driving for the next 30 years. The law never forgets. And the problem is you will, because 10 years, 12 years, 13 years, time heals all wounds. But the law doesn't forget. And if you run into a situation where there's something catastrophic that happens in your life and you go, you know what, I'm just going to go out for a drink. You get pulled over. We need you to remember this for the rest of your life. Somehow we need to get that to happen. And I'm hoping that this is it. We can put on a longer payment plan if needed, Joaquin. So, you
That
know,
would be appreciated, Judge.
I mean, we can do 3 years, we can do as much as we want, but I wanted to get her attention.
Yes, sir. And I also wanted to ask the court about since now she's going on probation, can she get the scram and the?
Absolutely, but first she needs the, now I am going to suspend your license because it's a second offense. I'm going to suspend it for a year. You will need a portable device. Once you get that portable device, we will take the ankle monitor off. So she needs a guardian interlock
Yes, sir.
for
I have
the
a-
life
I
of
already
this
have-
probation.
Yes, sir.
You have a where?
An interlock?
In your car?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I'm gonna end up suspending it now. So once you get a portable device, I'll take the thing off your ankle.
Okay, so why is the court suspending her license, Your Honor?
Because it's a DWI second.
Even though she's pleading to a first?
And it gets suspended regardless.
The ALR.
It's a DWI. She's doing a multiple DWI education class. DPS is going to suspend her license regardless.
So you want her to get the interlock, I mean, the portable, then she can get the scram
I mean,
removed?
I get you on the ALR hearing, but the way DPS works is, from my experience, when you do multiple DWI education classes, they end up suspending your license regardless. So you need to be on the lookout for that. So, you know,
Your Honor, we're filing an occupational petition here soon. We're going to ask the court to allow her to drive. She needs to
do it for a
get a
living,
job, Your Honor.
I'm a data analyst, but I recently got laid off in January. So I'm trying to find a job that's making it a little bit difficult with the ankle monitors to,
all right, I won't suspend the license then.
Thank you, Judge.
thank you very much, sir.
But before you start driving, can you run the license right now, please?
Yes, Judge.
Just to make sure.
I see as of now.
Before you start, like I said, because this is now going to reflect another conviction and you're going to be doing a subsequent education class, you need to be on the lookout. You need to make sure that DPS has your correct, address on file so because they're going to send you notice, they should send you notice if they do, about the suspension.
I see it's not eligible right now.
Well, Your Honor, I have the order that we want here. I mean, DPS, the website is notoriously late for updating but
Does it show?
The only most recent enforcement action that says canceled interlock required as of.
Okay, since she probably didn't send the $10 fee is probably what I'm thinking,
Yes, sir.
So DPS should have sent you notice that you have to pay a $10 fee to get a special license that you carry on you because of the interlock requirement. If you don't pay that $10 fee, they end up suspending your license. You're not allowed to drive, man. Your license is now currently suspended.
we'll get it done, Judge.
Okay.
Don't drive right now. If you drove here, you can't drive home. It's suspended.
Okay,
If you drive, you're in violation of this probation as of today. So you need to call DPS to figure out what you need to do to get your license reinstated. So don't drive. So what are the total costs now? So the total cost of this is 5,010. I will give you as much time as you need to pay, like I said. But if you start drinking, you pick up a new case, I'm just going to go bonkers. I want you to know now. Don't. Hopefully, this has been enough to get your attention that we mean business. Every day, someone dies from a DWI in our county. It's not fair. All we're asking, just don't kill anyone. How do you plead to this offense? Guilty or not guilty?
guilty.
I'm going to find you guilty, send you to the agreement. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this, there's no turning back. You can never undo this. Now, like I said, you do something to violate this, a warrant will issue. You will go into custody. You're facing up to a year in jail. If you ever have any issues, come back, we can talk about it, we can work through it. But the worst possible thing you can also do is just click off and abscond. That's a guaranteed warrant, okay? All right, good luck, man. Thanks.
Thank you, Judge.